Hello and welcome to my BEA Day 2 recap. Now day 1 turned out to be a bit longer than I thought it would with, so few books. So I decided to do day 2 a little bit different. Basically this will just be like the highlights of books that I got and experiences that I've had throughout the day. Now since I spent most of my first day at the bloggers conference, the second day was all expo hall. And I also had a few autographing tickets for that day, so I had to get those done. So as I walked in the expo hall in the morning, I just kind of grabbed a bunch of books on my way to the autographing area where my first ticket was for Lee Bardugo. On my way, one of the things that I was so happy to get because I'd seen like a huge poster of it and it looked really cool and I really wanted it, but it's The Diabolic by S.J. Kincaid. Be Deceived or Be Destroyed. And I actually have no idea what it's about, but the cover is so pretty that I really wanted it. Let's see. Nothing can prepare you for Nemesis. A diabolic is ruthless. A diabolic is powerful. A diabolic has a single task: kill in order to protect the person you've been created for. That sounds intriguing and I'm so looking forward to reading it. And did I mention the cover? Look how pretty it is! The next one is this one, and the reason why it's a highlight for me for the day is because first of all, it doesn't say the title of the book anywhere. It's just like a wrapped book and all it says is a gun in a lake, a missing mother, Anna is on the run, but from what? That is all it says, and like the wrapping is like a map type thing. So I was super excited to get it, and I was told it's a YA mystery, and it is Once in a Town Called Moth by B. Kent. Now I'm not familiar with it. It's a very small book, so I might get it with me to the Bahamas to read on the plane. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it, and I love the presentation. Presentation is key, especially at events like this, because you want people to want to read it, to want to take the book and read it, and this was very cool, so I really liked it. Now, I love Lee Bardugo's Grisha trilogy, and I actually haven't read the last one yet, shh, don't tell anyone, and I haven't read Six of Crows yet, but I've heard it's really good, and she was actually signing samplers of the sequel to Six of Crows, which is called The Crooked Kingdom, and I'm definitely looking forward to reading it because I really like her writing, and she was also giving out these tattoos for The Crooked Kingdom, so that was pretty cool, and I got to meet her, so it was awesome. And then I was actually right at the beginning of the line for Lee Bardugo, so once I was done with that, I ended up going to a few different signings along the path that didn't require tickets and didn't have very big lines, so that was pretty cool. Like before I went in line for my next signing, which was with Melissa de la Cruz, so I got a book from her that was signed, which is pretty cool. And then one of the additional books I got on like the lines between my ticketed autographings was The Secret Keepers by Trenton Lee Stewart, which is another book that I saw the poster of and I was like, this looks awesome, and I wanted it, so I'm really glad that I got it, and it's signed, so that's kind of awesome. And again, it's another book that I know nothing about. A majority of the books that I got at BEA I honestly don't know anything about, which on one hand is bad, on the other hand not so bad, because that's like I'm discovering new authors and new works, so that's pretty cool, right? Anyway, so The Secret Keepers The Secret Keepers, a magical watch, a string of secrets, a race against time, and those three lines are just enough to get me intrigued about this book, so I'm definitely looking forward to reading it. Now there's only 3 more books from my highlights, and one of them is Beauty and the Clockwork Beast, which was pretty cool because they had a poster for this book, but they didn't actually have the book, and in fact I got 2 other signed books from that counter earlier that day, But then I was walking by and there was no one around, and there was a guy behind the counter, and there was a book displayed on the counter this time. And I asked him if they have the book there, and he said, "Are you a librarian?" And I said, "No, I'm actually a blogger." And he's like, "Okay." And he gave me a copy, which was pretty cool because it's basically Beauty and the Beast but in steampunk form. And that is pretty awesome because Beauty and the Beast is my favorite fairy tale, and steampunk is something that I enjoy reading about. And combining the two just sounds really awesome, and I'm looking forward to reading it, and it looks awesome. And yeah, I should probably tell you who the author is. It's Nancy Campbell Allen. Can't believe I forgot to do that. Another one of my favorite highlights is I was walking randomly around the expo hall, and suddenly I see one of the girls from Epic Reads, and she was holding an end of the line sign, and I was like, "Oh, what's this line for?" And she's like, "Lauren Oliver is signing her new book." And I'm like, "Awesome, can you get in line?" She's like, here's the ticket, there's only a few left." And that was pretty cool because I ended up getting Replica. Well, it's an ARC. Most of the books that I got were ARCs. But I got an ARC for Replica by Lauren Oliver, which is her new book. It is, what I know about it is 2 girls, 2 stories, 1 epic novel. So there's, I'm not quite sure how to read it, to be honest, because it is literally, and I'll show you. First of all, another awesome presentation, but it is literally like there's words on this side, right? And then you turn it around and it goes this way too. So I'm not really sure how to read it. Do you just read it first one side and then the other side? Or do you read chapter in each and then go to the other side? I'm so confused, but it's so awesome all at the same time. Also, fun fact, Lyra is actually the name of one of my tunes in League of Angels, a game that I've become addicted to in the past several months, so I thought that was pretty cool. Also, Lyra is on the blue side, which, as we know, blue is my favorite color, so that was a pretty weird / awesome coincidence there. Also, she signed it for me on the blue side, which was pretty cool, because, I mean, this box, it does open on both sides, you know, because you have to accommodate, you know, for both sides of the book. So that was really cool. So it's definitely one of my highlights of BEA. And then last but not least from my books of day 2 is the Office coloring book. An activity survival guide to doodle dull days away. Definitely not for kids. It says so right there. But yeah, it's pretty awesome, and I kind of flipped through it and there's all sorts of activities and things to do, and there's just a whole bunch of cool stuff. Like, excuses, this flow chart will help you answer the age-old question we adults face on a daily basis. Should I call in sick today? And then there's like different prompts where you answer yes or no, and it tells you what the next step is, and eventually it leads to like exercises. Like, I thought dress down Friday meant stay in your PJs all day at home. So that is pretty cool. But yeah, it is a list of office dares. Like, for one day, whenever you speak, hold your pen to your mouth like a microphone. So, I don't know, I just thought it was really cool, and I'm so happy I got it because it looks awesome. Okay, some other highlights of the day were all the tote bags. I could not say no to a tote bag. I don't know what that's about, but now I have way more tote bags that I will never need, I will ever need in my lifetime. Though my favorite two from that day are probably this really cute The Littlest Bigfoot by Jennifer Weiner. Think little, cute little blue bag. It's adorable. And then the other one is My Peculiar, or Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Rigg tote, which I still haven't read, but I'm looking forward to reading it. And then on the other side you could write what your peculiarity is. I actually didn't write anything, which maybe that's my peculiarity, not writing stuff on bags. Another big thing from that day was that day was the cover reveal for Empire of Storms, which is the 5th book in the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas, which the cover itself looks amazing. You should go and look it up. I mean, I posted a picture of it on my Instagram, but it is so good looking. Like, I can't wait to get the book and put it on my shelves and make them even prettier than they already are right over there. It's just so good. Also, I was able to finally find where I pick up my BEA tote bag and mug. So that's pretty cool tote bag because it says I love books or I have books, which is pretty awesome. And then the mug is keep calm and read on, which is awesome. And in the there's like a BEA in it. I even made myself tea in it already while I was at the hotel. Instead of the paper cups there, I used this to make myself tea, and it was delicious. And one last piece of information. While I was there, I got to collect some pins, and they were pretty cool, but my favorite by far is this pin that I got. It is basically this little girl just going like, shh, we're reading, which is just the most adorable thing in the world. So that was pretty much the highlights of my day 2. I got a grand total of 38 books, which I actually thought I got more. But apparently that's how many I got, which is totally fine because I still need to find time to read them all. So, you know, it's pretty awesome. 38 books, most of them are signed, and they're all like new and upcoming books, so I'm super excited for all of them. I will leave a link down below to BEA Day 1. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and check it out. And I will see you in my next video, which will be BEA Day 3.